Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this weekly analysis. I'm gonna do it on the S&P, EU, and GU and GJ, or just GU. So for the S&P, really, there's not much to say besides after having these two doji candles for the week, the weekly candle, 2 weeks in a row. Finally had a breakout, big body, slightly wick at the top at the very end this day right here, Friday. So I really don't see the market having that big of a retrace. I can see it coming down to this daily imbalance or this point right here. Maybe this for value gap, and from there continuing on up. After that point, we should have no further reason to retrace any farther if we're going to continue this bullish momentum. And for Nasdaq, we just swept these weekly highs, closed underneath. Okay. Remember, we're all-time highs, so shit's a little weird. But on the daily, you can see that we came into this imbalance, which is also Thursday's daily's candle low at the top of this daily imbalance. Swept it and then closed all the way up here above Thursday's low, and had a strong movement up, creating this wick. So if anything, I see us coming up to here first throughout the week, and possibly at some point coming down to sweep from here. It is possible that we come down, sweep these lows, fill some more of this, and then continue on with the rally. But I don't see us going much farther than that. Um, yeah, the farthest I see us going down would be this daily imbalance. I don't even really see us going this far, like slightly below it, where this little order block is right here, or breaker, I guess. Order block would be right here, right here. But yeah. So that's what I'm looking at for Nasdaq. Now we can go to EU and see what's going on here. So we could go down to the monthly. We can see that we've been a little bit of a consolidative type of move. As of right now, we're bearish on the monthly. We just had a big retrace or move up right here a couple months ago. This move right here, and then finally started getting some movement down. You can see that last week, we had a big movement down. It's possible that we're heading for these lows right here after retracing up into, or yeah, looks like we just swept these highs. Probably came up into a 4-hour resistance type of zone, I guess you could say. Just basically just a whole lot of consolidation, and then continued on down from there. This could be somewhere around equilibrium as well. So slightly above equilibrium, but all in the same general area. So it looks like after tapping into all that, started to get some movement down, came back up, came into this daily order block plus for value gap, and continued to get some movement down. So now, in my opinion, for definite draw on liquidity are these lows. And then from there, it's possible that we come back up, fill a little bit of imbalances like this 4-hour imbalance and this 4-hour imbalance. But next week I see us possibly targeting these lows, this fair value gap, as well as these lows, and possibly filling in an imbalance or two up here. Oh shit. Simple as that. Had a nice daily break of structure to the downside. I guess you could consider this a weekly order block. So tap into this weekly order block as well before it started heading down. Go to the 4 hour. You can see even on the 4 hour chart where the daily break of structure was right here. And we seem to be targeting these lows, but we could start out the week targeting these imbalances to bring us lower to possibly eventually sweeping this liquidity all the way down here. Okay, so now we could go to, let's do GU, see what we're looking at on the weekly. Whole lot of nothing for a while. That does not look very pretty, but I actually kind of like what we see right here. Got a monthly liquidity sweep, got a enticing monthly fair value gap right here. Go down to the weekly, you can see that we just busted through this weekly fair value gap. Boom. And it looks like we almost got a weekly break of structure. Let's see. This candle's low is 1.26001, and this candle's close is 1.26004. So we damn near got a weekly break of structure, but we did not. Technically swept these weekly lows right here, but I bet that what's gonna happen this week is we will come up into this general area right here, and then come on down over here, sweeping these lows, and that might not happen throughout this week. Could take a little longer, but I think that's the direction that we're heading. You can see right here, you got a nice fair value gap, and yeah, got a breaker block. So that's what makes sense to me on GU. What I would like to see. And we'll give GJ a little bit of a look. So we go over here to the monthly. You can see that we have not yet swept this monthly liquidity up here. So right here you can see the monthly is bullish. Looks like this is where we are drawing to. Looks like we have already closed above this monthly high, so that is very nice. Go down to the weekly. You can see that we are reacting off of right here this weekly fair value gap as well as order blocks over here, causing this big wick down after sweeping this weekly high right here, this weekly liquidity. So with that in mind, I think that long term we're reaching up here for this liquidity. But for right now, we're getting some reaction, so I can see us potentially getting some reactions from here. That's very possible. Either that or we come down for these lows and potentially react off of this order block consolidation area right here. So that's what I'm seeing for GJ. I could react from here, start heading up, or it could come from these lows or this 4 hour consolidation order block demand zone. I don't know. I don't trade supply and demand. It's one of them, supply or demand. Come down here and then start getting some movement up. So we could get something like this, tagging for these lows or these lows, and then we get some movement up throughout the week. Or we could see something like this, where we're coming for this fair value gap to fill some more orders, come down, sweep these lows, and then from there, possibly head on up, or come down for these lows, and then head on up. So we'll see what happens, and then obviously on the way up, you might get a little bit of, dips, but we'll see what happens. Could come down to this low right here, tap into this order block, start coming up, and then from there, might want to sweep these lows right here so it comes back down, continues on going down, comes up, okay, and then it might dip down a little bit just to fill in some fair value gap that's over here, and then it will rocket up, creating a structure somewhat like this, and splurge to this monthly liquidity. So that's the weekly analysis for this week.